Can you imagine running long distances without feeling exhausted? How about performing better in every race, no matter the challenge? What many runners don't know is that there's a secret behind that seemingly unreachable performance, and it's not what you think. If you're not doing long runs, you might be sabotaging your own results. Want to know why so many elite runners consider them the key to success? Today, I'll reveal the real impact of these runs and how they can transform your running faster than you think. If there's one thing that truly makes a difference in your ability to run farther and faster, it's aerobic endurance. And long runs are the best way to develop it. It doesn't matter how many sprints you do or how many strength sessions you have. If you're not working on endurance with long distances, you'll always fall short when the moment of truth arrives. Why? Because long runs teach your body to use energy more efficiently. As you run longer distances, your muscles get used to burning fat as fuel instead of relying solely on carbohydrates. This is key because glycogen stores, the energy source that comes from carbs, are limited, and if you burn through them too quickly, you'll hit the dreaded wall in a long race. But when your body learns to tap into fat reserves as well, you can run more miles without feeling that extreme fatigue. But it's not just about energy. You're also training your cardiovascular system. With each long run, your heart becomes more efficient, pumping more blood and oxygen to your muscles with less effort. This type of adaptation doesn't happen in short, intense runs, but in those steady, long runs. The result is a stronger heart and better ability to maintain a steady pace over long periods. This means that on race day, not only will you be physically prepared, but you'll also be able to keep a good pace without tiring too soon. And there's more. Long runs also improve your muscle endurance. As you run longer distances, your muscles adapt to prolonged effort, becoming more resistant to fatigue. It's no longer just about keeping your legs moving, but doing so with strength and energy right until the end. Think about this. What's the point of starting a race strong if, by the halfway mark, you're already at your limit? Long runs ensure that not only do you reach the finish line, but you do so with the same power and confidence you started with. The mind plays a crucial role in any race. You can have the best physical training, but if your mind isn't ready, sooner or later, you'll give up. And it's precisely during long runs that you build that mental strength that makes you invincible. When you run long distances, your body isn't the only thing that adapts. Your mind does too. You begin to train it to face fatigue, pain, and that desperate urge to stop. It's during the toughest moments of those endless kilometers that you become mentally stronger. You learn to manage exhaustion, combat the fear of failure, and tell yourself, I can do more. It's like every extra kilometer is a small mental challenge that prepares you to overcome any barrier in a real race. At first, it might seem impossible, but little by little, you'll notice you feel more comfortable running longer distances. Your brain starts to understand that it can handle more than you thought, and suddenly, those short races that once seemed challenging now feel like a simple warm-up. If you've never done long runs, you're missing the chance to strengthen the most important part of your body, your mind. That's how elite runners stay focused throughout the entire race. They know it's not just about legs, but about having a mind strong enough to handle the toughest moments. Now that you know how powerful long runs are, you might be wondering, how do I start running longer distances without getting injured? And that's a crucial question because it's not just about running more and more miles without control. Doing it the wrong way is the perfect recipe for ending up injured, frustrated, and, worst of all, unable to run. First and foremost, progress must be gradual. Increasing distance too quickly is one of the most common mistakes runners make, and it's one of the main reasons they end up injured. What's the solution? The 10% rule. Increase your weekly distance by no more than 10% of what you ran the previous week. For example, if you ran 20 kilometers in total this week, next week you should aim for, at most, 22 kilometers. Yes, it may seem like a small increase, but trust me, your body needs that time to adapt to the new load. Injuries happen when you try to skip that adaptation process. Secondly, listen to your body. This isn't a race against time. It's a race against your own limits. If one day you're feeling too tired, Don't hesitate to cut down the distance or even take a rest day. Pushing your body when it's already at its limit is the fastest way to get injured. And remember, rest is part of training too. If your muscles don't have time to recover, there's no way they'll get stronger. Another key aspect is the pace of long runs. You don't need to run at full speed. In fact, long runs should be done at a slower pace than you would normally run in a race. Why? Because the goal is to build endurance, not speed. If you try to run fast during every long run, you'll end up exhausted and much more likely to get injured. Keep a comfortable pace, one where you could hold a conversation. Don't worry, there will be time to work on speed, but this isn't the moment for that. Lastly, mix up the terrain. If you always run on asphalt, your joints, especially your knees, will take a much bigger toll. Alternating between dirt trails, grass, or even the treadmill will help reduce impact and give your legs a break from constant pounding. Remember, it's not about being the fastest to increase distance, it's about being smart. Long runs are a powerful tool, but if you don't manage them wisely, they can become your worst enemy. Now, let's talk about an often overlooked aspect: nutrition and hydration. If you think you can just lace up your shoes and head out the door, let me tell you, you're ignoring a fundamental part of your performance. Because no matter how much you train, if you're not giving your body what it needs to function at its best, you're holding yourself back. First, nutrition before the run. If you head out on a long run without eating properly, you'll pay the price. Food is your fuel, and if you start without energy, how can you expect to perform well? Ideally, you should have a light, carb-rich meal 2 or 3 hours before your run. Something like toast with peanut butter, a banana, or a bowl of oatmeal. The carbohydrates will provide the energy you need to power through the distance without crashing. During a long run, when you're out for more than an hour, it's crucial to replenish that energy. This is where energy gels, bars, or even dried fruit come into play. You can have one every 45 minutes to avoid draining your glycogen levels. If you don't, you'll hit the dreaded wall, where suddenly you feel completely empty and start wondering how you'll keep going. Now, hydration. This is another area where many runners slip up. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink. Dehydration directly affects your performance and can leave you feeling far worse at the end of a long run than you should. During long runs, make sure to take sips of water every 20 minutes, or even sports drinks if you're out for more than an hour. The latter will help you replace the electrolytes lost through sweat. But hydration doesn't start during the run. If you start your run already dehydrated, it doesn't matter how much you drink along the way, you won't feel 100%. Make sure you stay hydrated all day. Keep a water bottle nearby and drink consistently throughout the day, especially if you're training in the morning. Lastly, let's talk recovery. After a long run, your body is screaming for nutrients to begin repairing muscle damage and restoring energy stores. In the first half hour after finishing, it's crucial to consume something rich in protein and carbs. A protein shake with a banana, a turkey sandwich, or yogurt with fruits and nuts are ideal options. This will speed up your recovery and get you ready for your next session without feeling completely drained. Do this, and you'll see a significant improvement in your performance. Don't risk heading out empty or dehydrated, because your body will feel it, and trust me, it won't be pleasant. Let's now look at common mistakes in long runs. This is where many runners, even the most experienced ones, go wrong. Long runs are essential, but if you do them incorrectly, they can become your worst enemy. Mistake number 1: increasing your distance too quickly. We've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating because it's one of the most common mistakes. Many runners, excited to improve, pile on the kilometers without giving their bodies the time they need to adapt. The result? Injuries, frustration, and in the worst-case scenario, the inability to train for weeks or even months. Another mistake is running too fast during long runs. I know you want to go faster, but the purpose of long runs is not speed, it's endurance. If you try to run at your race pace during every long run, you're wasting the opportunity to work on your aerobic base efficiently and putting unnecessary strain on your body. Remember, In long runs, it's better to go slow and steady. Keep a pace where you can comfortably hold a conversation. If you feel like you're pushing too hard, slow down. A third common mistake is not paying attention to recovery. A long run puts a considerable load on your body. It's not just about completing the kilometers, but about allowing your muscles to recover properly afterward. Many runners think they can keep training hard the next day without a problem, and that's when injuries or chronic fatigue set in. Give your body the rest it needs. The day after a long run, opt for a light jog or an easy walk, and make sure to stretch and care for your muscles. Not planning your nutrition and hydration is another critical error. Some runners head out for long runs without water or food, thinking they can finish without refueling. But if you're training for more than an hour without eating or drinking, you're compromising both your performance and your health. And yes, it's almost a guaranteed way to hit the wall. Avoid these common mistakes, and you'll see how your performance improves, your body gets stronger, and you stay injury-free. So now you know, long runs are your best ally to perform at your highest level in races. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep improving as a runner, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more tips that will help you reach your goals. See you in the next video.